to take all the other, like all the other
We're
daily live. Okay, cool. Hello, everyone. Hi,
Allison. Sorry, I didn't know that was going to happen when I pressed that button. You guys, there's this new feature where everyone can get their own personal recording, and I hit it, and then it went live, and I was like, oh, you're going live.
It does. It says, please stay in the studio until your recordings are done uploading.
So thank you all so much for joining. We're going to be on for about 45, 50 minutes. We have a Noonie Healing Circle happening. That happens weekly in our SaiYunaste Healing Circle that is anchored in by and guided by our gorgeous soul siSTARs, Ann and Fern and Ann, who work together simultaneously creating magic. So holding space for everyone. So Sami, would you like to share the story about why we're here?
Last night at around, 10:30 my time, yes. I got a little nudge from Spirit, and they were like, hey, you need to video chat Allison right now. She's on a call with someone else, but whoever's on that call needs to hear this too. And I was like, okay. And so I called, and of course it said, call busy, Allison in the other call or whatever. And I was like, cool. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, I know you're in another call. They asked me to call you. Apparently, we're supposed to do a meditation on emotional regulation for the coming months. I know that you're going to call another person. That person's supposed to be involved. I'm just supposed to stay in the meditation part, and that other person has the other piece of what we do after said meditation. So you're just supposed to trust whoever else is on that call. And I was like, cool. So that's what we did. And Allison put me into the call, and it was the beautiful Kayleigh of Magpie Moonchild. And she was there and she was into it. And so here we are doing the thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah. So part of thank you so much for sharing that. I know I kind of caught you off guard. Part of this too is in celebration of Kayleigh. We've been having this beautiful Hawaiian puzzle piece going on now for like 18 months. I don't even know. We've been working out, and it's really coming together. And we had a very beautiful sacral tethering over the weekend. And it was so unfortunate because Tina, like literally like 20 minutes before we started, she's like, I can't do it. She got hit like with this horrible pain and sickness. And we're like, well, there's no way you can come. Like, you have to rest, right? And so I asked Kayleigh if she would step in and assist, since we were doing 20 minutes out the gate.
Yep.
And she said yes. And it's been wild ever since. Kayleigh and I spent a lot of time for now, I can say years, really working in the shadows and the sacral and in those 3D worlds, getting in there with trauma and all of that. It's one of our passions to help others guide and heal. And Sami is very connected to the 3D world as well, because she actually makes ideas and things come into the world, which is incredible. Oh, Mark, this is totally absolutely free. I mean, if you want to donate and throw tips at us, I'm not going to stop you, but we're really here because we were called. Oh, Sarah. So just enjoy it. So we've it's been an incredible turn. I'm sure you guys have all been feeling this. And so we ended up, all of serendipity happens, right? Like, we've been obsessed with Hawaii. We can figure out so many things. Some of our friends have moved there. One of our beautiful soul sisters, Cindy, has just come back from there, and she sent me this video of these healing stones, and those healing stones video led me to this beautiful, really in-depth search of what they were and were about, and all about healing and the history of Hawaii. And I was like, well, now I want to learn this language and really find out, because as we all know, I could say probably through colonization has kind of suppressed and erased almost everything. I mean, we've lost so many languages and whatever. So I just got the tingles. And since I'm currently also obsessed with human design, I also was like, my projector self spleen says, do it, follow the white rabbit, if you will. And so I did. And part of that is me just trusting my instinct and my intuition. And when I feel the yes to do it, And Kayleigh the other day, last week now, I guess, said, hey, you want to do live with me? And I was like, yeah, I do. I do want to do a live with you. And we hadn't been on a live together for a billion years, it feels like. And so we did that. And lo and behold, Hawaii came to us through a beautiful human being, and just confirmed everything left and right, like it does, right? That we are here to enjoy Earth and to celebrate nature and to bring things back and to live our best lives and to follow our own calling and to support each other and all of this, right? Very emotional. And then the next day, it was the next day, wasn't it, Sami? Was it the next day? It was, okay. Sami and I took a trip up to Chicago as our last, I'm going to get emotional, as our last quest for, that was given to us by our healer. We'd always used to, this beautiful matriarch, and we'd always used to go. And she is one of the ones who helped save my son's life the first time around. So it's like, she's like very close to us, our little earth angel. And she gave us this quest to ignite the dove of the phoenix. And we were like, yeah. And she goes on to say how there are 4 of us who will be working on this quest, and the other 2 will come, and we're just like, sure, whatever. And this was like the beginning of late spring, early summer. And so we just leaned in and let it happen, and we got to travel places, and we had 2 other beautiful souls come in who received their own personal quests as part of this. And the last part was to go to the pier in Chicago and help rebirth, hold the frequency. I don't even know really like what the words are that we did, but essentially went to the pier and there was a dome and we were at a spot and Sami did some really cool stuff and I held space. And the intention behind it was to completely revive the dove of the phoenix, which is, peace, and spreading peace through the world and connection and forgiveness, right, for ourselves and each other. And so this is just really all coming around. So this has been like such an incredible emotional week. There's just been so much change and everything. And, we go through life growing and changing and moving, and it's hard, man. And so when Sami got that message to do this and just to be here and to help assist you to emotionally regulate, because it's something we need too, right? And as a healer, as you choose to heal, so do we. And we work as the conduits, right? You are the one that heals yourselves, you guys. You're totally empowered and capable of doing it. And when you're called as a healer, it's really our calling to help hold space, help channel more energy, help you be your best self in that way, however that calls, right? And it may be through direct healing in and of itself, like Reiki, right? Or it may just be talk therapy, or it may just be being a friend, or it may just be body doubling, or it may just be, healing comes in all ways, and each of us has that complete capability of doing so. However, there's this thing called emotions and being human. So rude. And emotions are power, right? We talk about this in the podcast all the time. Like we're here to experience that. We're here to experience emotions and adventures and lessons. And, some of us come with defined purposes and challenges. And some of us are here literally just to enjoy the experience, and they're all right. Like there's no wrong way. And you really have the total and complete control to co-create your reality and what it is in your adventure. And, a few years ago, when I first got into Reiki, I just really said yes. I said yes to me. I said yes to magic. I said yes to adventure. I said yes to every and all possibilities to bring together the soul tribe, right? To connect each other, because I just love watching people meet each other for the first time and see that they've known each other forever in other lives. And I've had so many blessings for that. So I'm going to need some help emotionally. Yeah, it's going to be a good podcast. We say all the time we're in the car. So we have this streaming live here in Soul Tribe, the SaiYunaste YouTube channel, and in Kayleigh's nest in Magpie Moonchild. So if you're watching from any of those places, please check out all the other places. Our tribe is out there everywhere. And, we're calling everyone home, as Lorna says, the consciousness pillar of SaiYunaste, where I hang out. And Sami has graciously said, you just play with that pillar, man. You just play with that and have fun. Has allowed me to create my home base for myself to come home to. And so, Lorna's wisdom said, well, it can be a home for everyone. So here we are. It's fine. So I guess we're going to cry probably, maybe. But that's good.
Oh, maybe also, that's why the eyeliner had to be pencil.
Yep.
So it would run.
So if you're interested in getting a copy of the recording of the tethering, that comes as for the collective. So anyone who feels, yes, I would invite and encourage you to do it if that calls to you. We've done the root, the heart, the root, the crown, and the sacral. Oh my gosh, I got it in order. Oh, Tina would be so proud. And so they're all available. You can just PM me and I can, I think it's like $45. You get a code with it. Kayleigh decodes that code. This one is going to be like, I don't even know. I don't think Nancy's even recovered yet from it, to be honest.
No, I don't think she has.
Yeah. So you can either PM me directly, direct message me, or email me at allison@SaiYunaste.com. As you all know, I don't work in real time. So I'm saying thank you in advance for your patience. Why my brain still works coming on from everything that's happened in the past couple months. Okay. Feels good. Feels like everybody's here. I just saw Gemma pop on. So they said, wait for the keystone. I said, okay. And then Gemma said, hello all. And I was like, there she is. So welcome, Gemma. You're the keystone today. I hope you're going to enjoy this.
No pressure.
no
Except the
pressure.
keystone takes all the pressure.
You can definitely say no if you don't want to. And it'll just easily get passed to anyone else who's ready. But everyone's here for this moment, and you can come back to this recording at any time. We'll get an audio done up too somehow. I'll figure that out eventually. All right. Let us begin. So just take a moment and close your eyes. Don't be driving though. That would be rude. And breathe in. Hold that breath. And release. Again, breathe in. Hold. And release. One more time. In. Hold. Release. Allow yourself to continue this breath as it signals to your brain that all is well. And if you are in high stress or fight or flight, this will take you right out of it. For when we breathe deeply, it signals to the universe that we are well. And so by choosing to breathe deeply, we are choosing to be well. It's amazing how many ways we can use our voice. And as you're breathing, just notice your mind and your brain, allowing it to catch up and to get settled in. Allow it to tune into your breath. And allow that part of you that navigates you through your systems, whether that be your mind's eye, or just a feeling or a guide, to just notice your cheeks and your jaw, your shoulders, your spine, your hips, your legs, your feet. Allow yourself to notice each and every part of your body, asking it to bring to the surface what is in need of help and assistance in regulating the entire system. What is being called to the forefront at this time? And while your system is getting organized, notice those beautiful feet and how they're planted on the ground in the way that is most comfortable for you. And let those roots grow down into the soil, connecting in to the nervous system of the planet, the roots, fungi. Let yourself feel and sense the pulsing of the planet as information is passed through you and as you are sending information out. And through your breath, just letting yourself harmonize completely. Knowing that the perfect resonance of this planet is 7.83 hertz. Allow that frequency to come fully into your body how you see fit. And just notice how your mind and your heart are coming together as one. Tenderly greeting each other as old friends and comrades. While your roots go further down into the earth, wrapping around those fossils and gems and crystals and stones, soaking up all the minerals that are needed for the nourishment of your vessel, for your soul. And take those roots and allow them to go deeper into the sacred waters, dipping into the wisdom of all that is and ever will be. Allow yourself to drink from this water, absorbing it all into your system, allowing your cells to vibrate at the perfection they already are at. Notice now how your minds and heart turn towards you in excitement and anticipation, true connectedness. A gentle reminder, of course, that we always are. It's just nice to notice sometimes. And should you feel the call, I invite and encourage you to go even further deep into this beautiful planet and connect at the core, at the soul, at the heart. Sharing your energy as the energy is shared with you. Perhaps it's a sense of warmth and fire and lava coming up through your system, warming the waters. Allow all of this energy to come up through your feet, your legs, your hips, your spine, your torso, your heart, your shoulders, out your hands, your ears, your head. Notice the energy that spills from you, through you, with you. It is endless. For energy can neither be created or destroyed, just changed. Take a deep breath, allowing this energy to come up as a swirl through your body, through your system, through your hara, through that highway. Up, 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 once again out into the ethers, into the sky and the stars and the galaxies beyond. Hold that breath. And as you release it, bring it back down. Allow it to swirl around your heart and out your hands, your feet, your belly button, however it wants to go. And come with me now. Between the no thing and the something. As we consciously come together as one heart, one breath, one mind, one soul. Notice who is here with you, with us. Lean into yourself and call forth who is needed at this time to assist, should you feel the need for that. Allow yourself to glow, to be open and receive, to allow your ears to listen, your mind to know, and your heart to feel. Mia shokuria nahinai. Mahahaya na ishia soya na ikia toyo. Tahakia na horohana. Naumuni iati. Nashotoro hiki shia na hatiami. Yashatoro ki itiano. Dahaya na ishia sokoriana. Mikiato hanai. Bashkaro uhoyana. Di iana shati kiato. Mayani. Nokoro uhoyana aha shatarei. Yakuru huhoyana hashana a. Dahi ikia no toro hishanoto. Bayaki. Natoro ihana a shatiaki. Mahayana. I forgive you. I forgive me. I am sorry. I love you. I love me. No shuturu uhuya na a. Yakuru huya mana ishisiano. Tahaya na iki ishia saturu kuru uyana. Or you are just another me. Nyashi isia turu hu ashanarara ikishia no turu kihiana. And as we fall into the pools of each other and all, nasho sokoro inyati, ara ishiana ahaha yana o. There is a knowing that everything is love in just a different perspective. Turuhini asho turuki, bahayana ishia tohoyana rakishiati. Mokoro horo anahayati. Masatu kuyana ha shataro u. Biano soku. Yatara horo uyana ma iana. Nashana. Allow yourself to receive yourself fully. Notice how steady your breath has become, how calm and centered you are. And as we are here together in between the no thing and the something. I ask you, what would life be like if you just kept saying yes? What would life be like if you knew you could always come back to center? What would life be like if you allowed yourself to love yourself? What would life be like if you invited the adventures and the wonderment in? What would it be like with life and yes and love? Allow yourself to find that balance between the either or, the yes and the no, the up and the down. This is your center of gravity. Trust it where it comes from, whether that's in your body or a reflection of someone else or just a knowing. It is your space and yours alone. Come with me now, my friend. Back into your body fully, taking a deep breath with me. Allow yourself to feel home in this beautiful vessel that you co-created to experience this precious life here on this beautiful planet. We'll get yourself all the way back in, my friend. Open those eyes, wiggle those toes, shake those hands, blow your nose. Come back, hang out. Let us know how that was. Or not. Word, I am word with my intention. Word, I am word. Word, I am word with my action. Word, I am word. Word, I am word with my love. Word, I am word. Beep. Oh, yeah. Soul language, Mark. The language of light, the language of our soul. It's so beautiful because the dialects change, right? The frequencies change based on what we are calling to come through. And quite often there are a number of souls on this planet as human beings who really resonate with a specific frequency, and they have a collective calling to a specific time and place where that energy was shared. Happens a lot in the starseed realms and the galactics. Oh yeah, Patty, I bet.
It might be a good idea to kind of explain for those who maybe don't know what the difference between light language and soul language is.
Sure. That's great.
What it's called. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, this is how you notice how we work together all together now, because I start blabbing. And these two teachers go, what? So soul language is the connection, a conscious connection to all that is, right? We're all together. We're never separate. It's like that illusion, right? It's just that conscious connection. And the thing is it comes from a part of you. Now, a lot of people say it comes from their heart. That's where a lot of people come in. They drop into their joy and gratitude, but it doesn't have to come from there. It comes from a place of where you are free in your emotional state. I've had people who really share their soul's language, their language of light, through their root and screaming and in the emotion of anger, and that's okay too. And so that really is an expression of your soul. And then the light language, as it is for me in my timeline and my story, is I'm really allowing those other beautiful frequencies to come through to express themselves through a human voice box. So that's why light language, you hear a lot about like certain galactics, like Arcturian and Blue Avian and Lyran and Fae and the ancient ones and dragons. And it really allows us to invoke the passion of the symphony within everything and bring it through us in that way. So I always say, do what feels right for you, because it's your story and your life, and you'll know it, right? There's a knowing, you can feel it in yourself, of the truth. And that's really what it is. And the beautiful thing is that it's just that it's like sometimes it's just like a transfer of symbols. It doesn't have to have, or images that our beautiful English language can just not capture, right? Part of that telepathy in that way. So through the voice box, the images and the emotions are sent to be received.
Is it, I'm going to give you sort of my
do the teacher thing. Yeah.
Then can you let me know if that feels resonant with you as well?
Yeah.
So I see soul language as the culmination, the combination of that which is in your life force being breathed through your voice box, right? So it is the language of maybe past you, fractal you, you in this time of now, your emotions, your everything. And that's what soul language is. Whereas light language is more of a channeling of beings outside of oneself, and you're voicing their words. Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a much more articulate way of saying all of the words I just said. So if you want the romance version, listen to my part. If you want to actually understand what the hell I just said, listen to what Sami
said. And I'm so sorry. It wasn't intended to like correct or anything. I just,
oh my God, no, no, all of our brains are wired so differently. It's so great to have different ways of it explained for our understanding, because that is what's so important. So I always encourage and invite all of the different perspectives. That's why we all work together. That's honestly why I prefer to work in circles, because even when we teach, because I teach Reiki and stuff, and there's always at least 2 other teachers there, because I think it's really important to give perspective. I'm not going to know or even be able to associate with everyone's experience or expectation, or be able to explain it or have them understand. And that's the most important, is sharing the knowledge to me. So thanks for that. You're a really amazing
as you were explaining it, I've never been able to put it into words definitively, like very directly, the way that I normally can, because it's so out of my realm of what I do. And then as you were explaining it, I was like, oh, I finally get it. Soul language comes from you, the self, the being, all of you, all of your pieces, or just you in that moment, or whatever you particularly need to express. And then light language is more like you channeling another being and putting their words out, essentially.
That should be, I think from now on, that should be the official definition. Because I've been trying to figure, how long have I been talking about soul language now? 2020, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, you've always said it. I've just never been able to pick up on those little nuances, I don't think, until this most recent description.
Yeah, you can get activated, or it just comes, or whatever.
It's beautiful. I love that story of how you came to soul language and changed from using light language to using soul language. I mean, it's documented in our podcast, but I think it's really incredible how you kind of like coined that term in the circle and sort of like shared that with the rest of the community, and the rest of the community was like, yeah, that is a different thing, and I just think that's so cool. I think we talk a lot, and I think you even mentioned it before on this, how we each have these different pieces of information and we kind of all come together and it like makes the whole puzzle. So that's been really cool.
Yeah, it's super fun. And I think what's even more fun is there's a lot of time, like, and Kayleigh can attest to this, how we spend exploring and researching and how everything is truly connected. And we take it and we move it into the space of now. So it's more easily digestible. I think this is something when we were researching all of like the Essenes and everything, and really that was coming to us, and how they only had a certain amount of words available, right, to explain what was happening. And so I think it's so interesting, and which is why I love the way we all teach. Like Kayleigh and Jared really teach a lot through story and analogies in that way, right? And so I think that's so beautiful because it's like that
that the little hook that makes it stick.
Yeah. Pop culture references and stuff.
Yeah. Especially if it's like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, where they're with bells on.
I love how the stars are going the stars. There's basically stars. The lights are going in the background right now for you.
I know, and they're just, once they're on for 3 hours.
So I hope you all enjoyed that. Tuesdays, there is, in about 20 minutes, there's a weekly healing circle. So if any of the healers are feeling called to come and join, you can always just come and receive 2 more if you want. That's in the SaiYunaste Healing Circle. It's just a little private group for people. It feels like creating more safe spaces. If your ears perked up for human design, gene keys, or astrology, we've got a group for that. And then Kayleigh is, so we're kind of holding that. And then Kayleigh graciously was like, she's birthed the spiritual development group. So that's really like the clairs and how to protect and ground yourself and all the questions.
A little melting pot of everything.
Yeah, it's really everything.
It's so that you have an initial, it's like a jumping off point into each of the things, like all of the rabbit holes. The way I wanted it to be was like, it would be like a roundabout. Like you go around the roundabout and you go, oh, that goes off to, this is a really good resource to go off to find astrology, or this is a really good place to go and find soul language, or this is a really good place to go and find about Reiki, or while also putting little fun, connecting you with your own intuition, little tasks to do. So it's been a bit neglected because I've been going through a load of soul decodes and periods of illness and whatever just happened in the last 3 months. But yeah, I'm trying to bring structure into that, and I'll be bringing people in with me to help do that, because you can't just be one person. But the whole place is like, it's a place where if you do soul language or you do whatever, you can do a live in there if you've never done one before. There's only 2 rules. One is don't be respectful to each other. I'm not going to say that on your channel. Be respectful of each other and each other's points of view. You, just because it's not the same as yours, you should still respect it. And the other one is no promotion of pages. So we've had a couple of people, and the post is approved, and this is exactly why you have to have them approved. That doesn't mean you can't share anything in there. It's just because people have been already trying to stream in other people's lives. When people do lives and they go, oh, share and we'll give you a reading, and they've shared it into that group, and that was why the pre-approved, that it needs to be approval is in there to stop that happening. Because for me, I wanted it to be a free space where they're free resources where you can go and delve into something. So yeah, I just thought it was necessary. I mean, I teach tarot, but it's not all about tarot. So
it's
what I mean? There's bits of everything. So in the new year, it's really going to have a bit of, I'm going to be more on that and reading than I've had a lot of things to tidy up. To finish the year up. So I took like November and October off to recover physically and then catch up, and then with the view of enjoying the holidays, and then January onwards delving into whatever I go next. So
yeah, we always get so much done in the winter months. It's really fun.
Yeah, we do.
So the first part of my download was the beautiful meditation, and then the second part was Kayleigh, you knowing like what to do after that. So do you have any
So what you mean with regards to emotional regulation?
Well, it's totally up to you. What I was told was whoever was on that call with Allison would know what the
to
next
do.
steps were after the meditation. That Allison was to birth this meditation, and then it would the leadership of it would be passed to you. I just kind of get to.
We're having a projector manifesting generator moment, you guys.
Well,
Sorry.
I think I mean, obviously this was specifically to do with emotional regulation, and really it's about allowing yourself to also feel those emotions, because the only time they really get overwhelming is because you're not allowing yourself to feel, you're not allowing yourself to work through the lessons of what's coming through. So for me, I think that a part of that is, as much, you all know my favorite thing is shadow work, and it's really important that you go through because darkness isn't evil, and I think we confuse the two. I think we really do confuse the two things of darkness and good and bad, and light and dark, and we confuse the things completely. I mean, if you think about it, we were born from the darkness. We were contained in the womb, which obviously is contained in the sacral, and we were brought from the portal of spirit into the physical realm by the womb space, unless obviously you teleported here or whatever. But most humans come that way, where you are in a womb and you are contained in the darkness, and you are held there until you are growing and you are learning what you need to do before you are then, through constriction, birthed into this realm. So I think it's really important that part of emotional regulation is to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, and that before you go into great expansion, you are always going to go into that constrictive period, which is like literally a laboring from the darkness into the reality, the full light of what a situation is. And until you have all parts of yourself, or all parts of the information, or all pieces of the puzzle, as we've been sat in darkness with this whole Hawaiian thing for 18 months at least, where we had this whole fire and water thing. What is this fire and water thing? Fire and water and fire and ice, and obviously until the last piece dropped in, it made it completely clear you're just going to be sat there. And I think we are all in this time, at least I felt lately, that the pieces are all sat there in the air, and I'm going, how do they all go together? And it's okay to be in that space, and it's really about taking the time in that space, in the darkness, to go over the pieces of the puzzle, to go over, what is this trying to teach me, and even trying to weave the threads as much as you can until it's time for them to all come into line. And genuinely, how you feel, and I think sometimes we gaslight our own emotions, and we gaslight our own feelings, like where we feel things in our bodies. And we've had a lot of that sacral as well, and that is all about experiences, experiential of the senses, like how something tastes, how something feels, even the sexy stuff. And I go there every time, because that is a sensual experience, and we are birthed through sex. You can't pretend we're not. Well, I suppose unless you were formed in a lab or whatever. But generally speaking, when nature does its thing, we are formed through sex. And I also think part of that is the blending of the masculine and the feminine. You can't have an ovum, you can't have a baby with two ovums. You can't have it with two sperms. It has to be an ovum and a sperm. And it's really important that you understand, again, that masculinity and femininity aren't because what vessel you're in. It's, again, the blending of the two together. You have to allow. So you're going to have the more masculine energies of anger and the outward expressions, and they're going to have a different, more forceful to it. And sometimes you're going to internalize it as a feminine, and it's really about allowing yourself to experience and see the whole thing as kind of this cauldron of emotions that you have to go through all of it. You have to go through getting angry. Just make sure you're doing it in a healthy way, and it is about finding that balance of healthy ways of doing it. You can't pretend we're not an animal. We have animal emotions. We want sex, we want food, we want fire, we want all these things. So it's really important that you allow yourself that experience completely. We came here to be a human, so we need to be the human experience of sadness, ecstasy, and joy, and all, and and everything in between. So it's really important to allow yourself to feel all those things and go through them. They're not all going to be good, but they're all going to be worth it. So
Accurate.
So there you go. I didn't even need a rune or a card. It just came.
Well, they said it would.
They said it would. And I was like, and actually the guide that Allison found me the other day was just stood in that mirror looking at me. So I was like, oh, you turned up now. Lovely. So yeah, it's about blending, balancing the dualities, and they don't have to be separate. They can blend and merge together. So
Teamwork makes
I
the
love
dream work.
this is my life.
it does indeed.
It's the best. Thanks everyone for joining us today. We are going to pop off because we do have our healing circle starting in about 11 minutes. And so if you're interested in that, you can pop over to the SaiYunaste Healing Circle group. And typically the Zoom link is posted right on the page, if not in the event. If not, just message me and we'll get it to you if you want to join in. No pressure. As always, stay true to yourself. Hold those strong, firm, healthy boundaries.
They are so necessary.
Live your best life. Is that
Absolutely.
it? Does
Yep.
that feel complete? All right. I'm going to end the broadcast. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for